Hi everyone, welcome back to Go Local Live here in the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center. We're here now with Brian Dwiggins. He's here from Borealis Coffee. First off, congratulations on your big win. It was announced here on Go Local Live just last week that they won one of the two awards for the Rhode Island Food Fights Iced Coffee Smackdown in July.
Yep.
Big congratulations there. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having us.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on at Borealis. We had you here about a year and a half ago, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, we had just opened, I think, when we were on last. So we're about to have our 2-year anniversary in September.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Everything is going great. We're very pleased with all the growth and all the new customers, and obviously the big shout out to the Rhode Island Food Fights Judges' Choice Award, which we were very excited to win that for the second year in a row. But we are trying to slowly add a few more things that people have been asking us for. So we just started teaming up with Rebel Bagels. So starting Wednesday through Sunday, we have Rebel Bagels available now, which is a new ad that a lot of people are excited about.
Great.
So if you're on the East Bay and you can't make it all the way over to Doyle Street to check out Rebel, you can come and grab bagels from us now. And we're not doing full sandwiches, but bagels and cream cheese and stuff like that, peanut butter. Keeping it simple and, as always, focusing on nice single origin, micro lots, traceable coffees, and coffees that we can be excited about, but also are an approachable coffee that without being a little bit weird that might not be appealing to everybody.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit more about that. You said micro labs?
Micro lot.
Micro lots.
So we try to, coffee is an agricultural product, but a lot of people don't realize where it's always coming from. So we try to buy traceable coffees that are going back to the origin level. So right now we have a really nice Guatemalan coffee that is like from Finca La Esperanza. It's a single estate farm, so it came from one coffee farmer. I'm working directly with an exporter in Guatemala to buy this really special coffee that just is exactly the coffee that I'm looking for, but it's also a customer that a coffee that my customers can also be really excited about. So just because the coffee is so much. Can be kind of like a commodity where people just like hit a drive-through and they don't really think about what they're drinking. We want to remind people that coffee is a long chain of custody from like the farmer, from seed to cup, and we're kind of the end. By being able to provide our customers with a product that they can be excited about and know where it comes from is important to us. So we just want to try to encourage that education and traceability all the way through.
And that's important too, because then you can know not only where it comes from, but that where it's coming from has fair labor practices, and it's not supporting anything you wouldn't want it to support, and helps get more education out about the chain, because that's true. I know a lot of people just think, oh well, coffee comes from the store. You don't really think about the whole journey of how it gets to your cup. Yeah,
it's kind of like farmer's market on a global scale. Like right now everybody loves going to the farmer's market and being able to meet the person that's growing their tomatoes or their cucumbers or whatever. But coffee doesn't grow really in the United States except for in Hawaii. So it's something that's very easy to forget about. And so by kind of putting it out there to people that like, hey, this came from this farm in Huehuetenango, Guatemala, like it kind of makes people think about it again, and that's just important to us and other specialty roasters as well.
And so with that in mind, like you said, you've won the Judges Award 2 years now. What do you think sets your iced coffee apart from the competition? Rhode Island we love our iced coffee. We drink our Dunkin' iced coffee in February. Yep. We love our iced coffee. What puts you a cut above the rest?
Well, I think the thing that we got really excited about this year is we offered coffee flights. So we have iced coffee 3 different ways. We have a light roast flash brewed coffee, which is like light, bright, kind of citrusy, a little bit more refreshing. We have our cold brew, which is going to be a little bit darker, more like chocolatey and smoother. And then we have our nitro coffee, which is the Guatemalan that I was just talking about. So we can kind of give people all 3 options, which is really good because that way we can make sure that you're going to leave happy instead of giving you, just like, okay, this is our iced coffee, and if you don't like it, then that's kind of the end. But by being able to let people try multiple options, it appeals to a larger group. But we also roast in small batches, and we're addicted to really great coffee and work on that quality control constantly. So by keeping our eye on the quality and making sure that we're putting products out that we can be excited about, it makes the customers excited as well.
And so why do you think it's better to do all of your own roasting? What does that get for you that maybe another coffee shop wouldn't have?
For me, I just like, there's so many different types of coffee and varietals of coffee. It's just like wine. Like you can, wine from France is different from Italian wine versus Portugal and all that, and coffee is no different. So by being able to kind of like really go through and select coffees that I can get excited about is what makes roasting so much fun. Because with like right now, we just went through about 15 different samples from Ethiopia in order to narrow it down to one Ethiopian coffee that we're going to start offering in another probably about 3 or 4 weeks. And that's something that, if you're buying from another roaster, if you're not roasting your own, you don't have that flexibility. You're just like, okay, this is their offer sheet and these are my selections. But for us, we can be like, all right, right now we want to have like 5 of these great coffees, and we get to really be the ones that dictate that.
That's great, and it's clear that you clearly love coffee. You know so much about coffee. Where did this all come from? Have you always loved coffee? Is it just something you kind of stumbled into?
Both. So I grew up in Alaska, which is geographically very isolated. That's where the name Borealis came from. And because it's so geographically isolated, I grew up drinking locally roasted coffee, from small roasters up in Alaska in Anchorage. And so it wasn't until I left the state that I realized that a lot of people weren't actually drinking good coffee. So when I moved to the East Coast and even when I was in college in Colorado, I was always seeking out like the best coffee shops and trying to find. I found out that I was a coffee snob without actually realizing it when I was growing up. And then when I was working on the on film sets in Boston, it was all freelance. So there was a lot of time that I would be unemployed and I needed a hobby. So I just started home roasting as a hobby to keep my mind occupied while I was waiting for the next gig. And the more I learned about roasting and more about coffee, I just went down this rabbit hole and it kind of spun out of control. And I took a couple of roasting classes and started thinking about it more and more seriously, and eventually I bought a roaster and was just working full time on movies still, but would roast 1 day a week and do a farmer's market on the weekend. And then I got to the point where I couldn't really sustain the business and work full time, so something had to give. So when I saw the train depot where the coffee shop is right now in Riverside, right on the East Bay bike path, that was kind of the opportunity that I couldn't pass up, and I was like, all right, well, it's not going to get any better than this. So I took a leap of faith, and we opened the coffee shop 2 years ago. So. And
clearly, Rhode Island is very glad that you did.
Yeah, the response has been great. We've got new people coming in all the time, and are always very complimentary. So if you haven't been down, check us out.
And so, what's next for you guys? What's the next big plan for Borealis?
I'm planning. I'm putting my seeds. I'm planting a lot of seeds right now. I'm not exactly sure what's going to land yet. I do want to have another location eventually. There's a lot of moving variables on that front, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go. But there is definitely a plan on doing more food, roasting more, getting another location, maybe within another year or so. But I've had conversations with some people. We're just waiting to see where everything lands.
And whereabouts do you think that would be? Do you think you'd stay within the Providence area, go out a little further, or is that still all up in the air?
We're pretty dug in, and we have a great following in the East Bay, which is fantastic. So that's one thing that I really like, but I think to really grow the business, Borealis needs to come into Providence. So Providence is going to be our next move, I think.
Fantastic. Well, there's lots of great places in and around Providence, and I'm sure everyone down in the city would love the opportunity to check it out. And so you said you have a collaboration with local bagels that we can now get in your shop. What other kind of offerings do you have?
During the week we get pastry from Olga's Bakery. So we have like some croissants and scones and things like that from them. We also get some baked goods from the Illuminated Oven, like really great cookies, some carrot cake muffins that are absolutely to die for. And then on the weekends we get stuff from Rustic Roots Bakery. But everything's local. I'm a member at Hope in Maine, so we try to get a lot of stuff from Hope in Maine and some of their members, Balici's Best Biscotti, Just Like Dano's Rugula, Wise Mouth Tea, Leafy Green Tea. We have a Nitro Matcha from Leafy Green. If you haven't had that, it's kind of like a silent, like, it's not super popular yet, but people are going nuts over it, the ones that have had it.
All right.
So yeah, as many local products as we can.
And that's great too, because it brings the community together, and it does help also expose people to different parts of the community maybe they haven't encountered yet.
Yep, absolutely. You know, we're the community coffee shop, so I think it's important for us to make sure that we're doing everything we can for the community.
And last question: what personally, if you can pick, what is your favorite type of coffee?
For me, it's whatever is new. Right now we have a really nice wine yeast fermentation El Salvador coffee, which is it's our newest coffee, so it's what I've been drinking at home. But you know, next month it'll probably change, but whatever's fresh.
And actually, one more question. There's been a lot of talk lately about the going plastic-free movement when it comes to straws. As a coffee shop owner, how does that affect you, and what can we do to help with that?
We do sell stainless steel straws, and we offer a stainless steel straw discount. We also offer travel mug discounts for anybody that wants to come in just to kind of have those green initiatives. Travel mug discounts, if people bring in their own like mason jar, we'll fill a mason jar so they don't have to use bags. So we do have some green initiatives and incentives for people, but unfortunately we're just not quite able to step completely away from the plastic straws yet, but we're always trying to be more and more green to lighten our impact.
Is it difficult as a coffee shop owner to make that changeover? I know a lot of people talk about alternatives, paper straws and compostable straws and things like that, but is it difficult as an owner to make that change?
Yeah, I mean, we offer, when we have people drinking like an iced coffee out of a mug for here, and they still grab a plastic straw, like there's nothing we can really do about that. Like we can't completely take a straw away from somebody, but all we can really do as a business is try to incentivize people to start thinking about it. And I think that's the most important thing about the stainless steel straws, is that it's just kind of raising the awareness so that we can start
people thinking about it.
Yeah, to start moving in the right direction.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Congratulations on the win. Good luck with the planned expansion. And thanks so much for joining us. Brian Dwiggins here from Borealis Coffee. Lots of exciting things coming in the future. And we'll be right back with our next guest here on GoLocal Live.
Cool. Thank you.